who knows what's going to happen in the next year? These tools can change, overnight, and there are people working on some really cool stuff. But I'd like to look a little bit further out at just like the state of sales and the profession itself. If you think like 5 years out in 2030, what do you think sales and marketing and the world of, maybe B2B business will look like with AI?
Yeah, so I think there's some predictions I'm more certain of, and some that I'm more like, oh, we'll see, right? But I think near term, we're going to see the agent concept, AI agents, become so much more popular, right? So you've already seen it in HubSpot, a little bit of like a prospecting agent. Today, if you're to use AI to prospect, you got to go here to get the script, here to create your ICP, here to find the people, right? There's still a couple of steps. Where in the future, the goal is to go to an AI agent and say, hey, I want to prospect B2B construction sales leaders in Charlotte that are in a company like this. It goes and it finds the people, it creates the prompt, it creates the draft, and then you just have to say, okay, hit send, right? So I think these agents are going to become much more popular. I also think there's going to be some regulation, right? So like right now, we're kind of in the Wild West of AI. You can kind of do what you want. People are like, is that allowed or is that legal? And so I'm like, well, yeah, but there's an ethical way to do it and a non-ethical way to do it, right? And I think that's why this conversation is so important, because putting the human first and the buyer first and the sales rep first is the ethical way to go about using AI, in my opinion. But with things like AI call or AI cold calling and things like this, I mean, imagine when that gets good enough to, replace a human one for one. There's going to have to be some regulation around that, or else
I think it pretty much has at this point. I've heard some that do it fairly well, and let's be honest, humans aren't really great at it. So yeah, and the weird thing is, like, when there's AI buying agents as well and purchasing agents, like, we're gonna have AI selling to AI, and that gets really crazy.
It does get crazy, and where I potentially see it is, like, think about, you have 10 people making cold calls in the future. Well, in the future, I expect you probably cut that down to 2 or 3, and you give those 2 or 3 people 10 AI cold calling agents. And you take your top 2 or 3 people and they replicate themselves in these cold calling tools. They enjoy it. Their job becomes easier, more enjoyable. You can take those 7 people and apply their skills in more opportunistic areas in the business. Because let's be honest, who likes picking up the phone and getting told no 50 times a day for that one yes, right? So there's ways where we can use this technology to allow, again, humans to do what we enjoy doing, which are typically other areas. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows the timeline? It's probably short, whatever it is, it's going to be soon. But regardless, I'm excited to see what happens.
Do you think we will reach general intelligence, or some sort of sentient AI, and when?
I'd be surprised if we didn't, honestly, just with the rate that things are going. I don't know when. I hope we got another 10 years to kind of figure this out, because honestly, I think there's a lot of things that we need to figure out from an AI perspective on how to safely use it before it gets to that point. But thankfully, there's a lot smarter people making those decisions for me, or at least I hope that's the case. So we'll see.
I think that's fair. I think we're definitely gonna get there. We've, I think, crossed a lot of difficult hurdles, and there's still some big ones left as far as processing power and speed and sort of matrixed intelligence that our brain uses and stuff. But they're making advancements in reasoning and stuff that I think is going to be solvable. Like we know the chips will get smaller, the things will get faster, the models will get smaller, necessary to do this. And
think about the first computer that came out, right? Think about the first computer, and think about a laptop today or your iPhone, right? That's where we are with AI, is like where the first computer was. It's like, it's in its infancy. So I think there's a long road ahead, and I don't know that anyone would have predicted we would have ended up all walking around with a computer in our pocket, but we'll see what happens with AI.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, you're not quite old enough to remember, but when I was in like high school, we would wait for 30 minutes for a document to print. It would go one line at a time, and downloading images on the internet over dial-up would literally take hours.
My generation might have a conniption if that would occur, if my Amazon package doesn't get here by right.
That's a great one. You can get an Amazon package to your door faster than you could have downloaded and printed a book in the 90s.
Crazy.
So That's really only 30 years. So I think within our lifetimes, amazing things are going to happen.